Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. So today I'm going to be starting playing with winter warmers, which is another one of the Christmas blockbuster sets, and I thought I would go with these Perfect Poinsettias today because I'm going to be trying out a new sort of style of card to me. I don't know how it's going to go. You can see I have been sort of popping bits out just to try things, and I'm pretty sure it's going to work okay. But what you get with this little set, so you've got your poinsettias there, you've got a large sentiment, I would say, may the simple joys of Christmas warm your heart, fill your home and last a lifetime. Got a couple of tags, and then the big cracker. You've got this beautiful printed cardstock with the poinsettias on both sides. You could accentuate that with a embossing folder with poinsettias on, or any of the little poinsettia dies. Spellbinders, Crafters Companion, they always do loads of those. Then you've got this beautiful piece with the foiled bit at the top, looks kind of like lace. And then you've got the inserts to match. So you've got one with a printed border on this side and a sort of linen effect. And then you've got that sort of border replicated with the little bouquet, all in that lovely faded out colour, so it's not too in your face. So let's just pop those under there. Actually, I'm going to put those up there so that I don't lose them, and then I'll pop those into my little hidey hole there. Right, okay, so to start with, we're going to need two pieces of card. So I've got a little offcut piece here, and I've got a piece of 6x12. So let me just start by scoring this in half. So it is going to be a 6x6 card, and I'm just going to pop that over. And just one other thing, I did have a message from somebody who was saying about they've got some 6x6 cards, but when they measured them, they weren't 6x6, and this is the problem that I've had in the past. So these are the card blanks that this one here is a card blank that I've been using up as part of my challenge. This is a 6x6, so you can see the difference in size. There's quite a bit of difference. For these, I've been starting with a 5.5 mat, and then just going down that way, and it seems to work out well. You do have a slightly bigger white border, but as long as you don't mind that, you know, it works out really well. I think the problem with packs of card is that the 6x6 refers to the envelope rather than the actual card itself. So they have to cut the card that size to make sure it goes in the envelope, unfortunately. Okay, so we've got our 6x6 here, or if you're going to be using those other ones, that'll be fine. And then for this piece here, I'm going to go at 3 inches, and then I need to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5, I believe. Could be wrong, I'm pretty sure it's 5.5. We'll find out in a minute when I score it. Okay, so let's bring in the scoreboard. So we are going to go with 1, 3, 4. Oh no, I've done it wrong. I've scored it wrong. Let me just turn that over. Just push those down. I should be able to reuse this. I'm going by the measurements on the first sample I did. Okay, so it needs to be, so that first one is 1, so that's fine. And the next one is 2.5. And then the next one is 3. And then the next one is 5. I might have to cut this again if it doesn't score very well. Oh, I think I'm going to cut it again anyway, guys. Yeah, let's just cut that again. I'm just worried I'm going to glue it in the wrong place and then it's not going to work. Okay, so let's bring that little piece back in. What's the size on that one? Is that 3? It is 3, and then 5.5. And these are just odd bits, you know, like when I've cut bits off my card. These are just the same cardstock but that I've had lying around. Okay, let's try again with that score and let's get it right. So it needs to be 1, 2.5, 3.5, and then 5. So you've got a space here of 1 inch, and then there's 1.5 inch, and then there's 1 inch again, 1.5 inch, and then I've got a glue tab of 1/2 inch. Okay, let's pop this out the way. I'll give this a little burnish down. Hello Henry, what's up? Oh, he's just popped in, say hello. Popped in to say hello. Oh, you've eaten your chips, have you? Oh, you're a good boy. He's a good wee boy. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is grab some red liner tape, and I'm just going to pop, when I find the end, a little bit along that glue tab that I've created there. And I will also just put some of this Color Tacky glue over, and what I can do is just squash that down nice and flat. So what you're going to have is a little box like so. Okay, so we can pop that to the side, we don't need that yet. Move that out of the way. Okay, so let's, oh, the other thing I've missed in the score line on here as well. Oh, it's all going on today. So I've scored it at 6, and I'm doing like a fold back card, so it needs to go at 3 as well. So that will go on like so, and that's the shape of card we should have. Sorry, I'm all over the place today and don't know what's going on. Okay, so let's pop that out of the way for a second and bring in our trimmer. Now I'm going to need gold mirri card because the foiling is all in mirri. But I am going to be decorating all of this. I'm going to be putting the insert on there because I still want to be able to write on there if they want to. So I still want it to function as a normal card, and they're decorative enough for me to do that. So, oops, just taking 2 notches off, and that should fit quite nicely into there like so. And then I want a piece for here, which is going to be a mat for 3x6. So again, I'm just going to take 2 notches off that 3 under there, and 2 notches off that 6, and then that piece should fit quite nicely onto there. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my printed cardstock. Equally could use the foiled if you wanted to. I just kind of think that I'll get more out of my cardstock if I use this. And I'm going to cut this at 2 3/4. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to go a little bit over. Let's just go to there. Just so I'm not cutting off those poinsettias, because this is literally the only decorated card I'm putting on there. So if I go to 2 3/4, cut a little bit of that red off, and then I've got more of those flowers, and then of course I need to put that at 5 3/4. So that is going to go onto our mat, onto that front piece there. Right, so I need to switch my trimmer for my guillotine, because I'm going to be cutting the insert, and the trimmer and inserts do not really lay very well together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same matching one, and I'm going to cut this to 5 3/4 and 5 3/4, and that will fit onto our mirri mat there. Okay, so that is all the cardstock and decoration that we're using. So the rest is going to be from the toppers. So let's start with this one first of all. Yeah, we'll glue this on first of all. So I'm going to use, because this is the paper, I don't like to use the tacky glue in the corners because it does make the paper sort of rock up. But I can still use this all-purpose, the Clout all-purpose glue. So I just used a dotty tape pen just to make sure that sticks in position where I want it to. I don't have to worry about that sort of going on a wander while I'm working on the other side of my card. And especially since we're going to be gluing to this, so we do want that to be quite settled and glued. If you don't want to use the tape pen, you can just use the all-purpose. Just be careful, like it's doing there, it's coming off onto the mirror card, so I can see it has, I don't know if I can show you if it'll pick it up. I don't know if it's gonna zoom in just right here. Come on, camera, you can do it. No, it's not going to do it, but you might be able to just like see it where it's just a little bit like brushed, where it takes the shine off. But I'm not going to worry about that today because I think it's going to be hidden anyway, so that's not going to be a problem. Okay, so because we're now working onto the back of the cardstock, we can go in with our normal glues, which will be the tacky glue in the corners, which I like just because it dries a little faster, and will keep my work in place while I work on the front. And then by the time I come back, I should be able to pop my little box on. Okay, so let's go with this one. Now I want to put some ribbon on here because I'm not really planning on putting a lot of decoration on here besides what this cardstock already is. Perfectly pretty cardstock, so I'm hoping to let that do the work for me. I may add a little tag, one of the tags, but if I put some ribbon on, it just gives me that option. And I've decided to go with black ribbon for this one, which I know doesn't sound very Christmassy, but there are a lot of black tones in this kit, you know, the darker sort of shading and shadows on here, like in the toppers, you know, it's quite a lot of dark maroon reddy black. So when I put the red up to it, ribbon, it just didn't seem to do too much. I tried the green and that blended in too much, but when I put the black, it did really sort of pop a little bit more. So let me just grab that bit of black ribbon, we'll go about there, and plenty, overcut it if anything. And then what I'm going to do, and this should be double faced, it is, I'm just going to pop that over and then just pull it a little bit, not too tight that the card bends, but I do want it to be sort of taut so it's nice and stretched. And what I can do is just take off those little ends. I'll pop a little bit of tacky glue underneath and on top just to glue that to the cardstock and to stop it fraying. And then we can go in with our normal glues. And rotate that around so it's matching the other side. And then that's going to go on. Like so. Give that a good press down, make sure it makes good contact. And that is our card as we have it at the moment. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our little tube. Just checking that's glued nicely. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to make a little pop-up on my card. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that where we've joined the card together, I want that at the top. Because if I put it on the bottom, you'll be able, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you, but if I put it on the bottom, you can see it there. But if you put it on the top side, in this case it's going against the cardstock, this side, you can't see it as much. Okay, so that's how I'm hiding those workings, and I'm not worrying about this here because that's going to be hidden by my decoration, and I don't need to decorate this any further because it's actually all going to be hidden. Okay, so you've got two choices with this. I am going to use a bit of red liner tape. On the practice one that I was doing when I was playing with this little mechanism, I did use the dotty tape pen, and that did work quite well, but it also did allow me to take it off, which I didn't really want to be able to do. And what you're going to do is you're going to put, because we've got that join at the top there, I'm putting one piece of tape on this 1-inch piece and then directly underneath it on there. I haven't put a lot on because I will use some all-purpose glue as well, because that does dry really hard. What I want for these pieces to do is just to give me that bit of time to get that into the right place. Okay, so there we go. So remembering I've got that 1-inch piece, that's going to be my upright, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that real flat, press it right into the middle of the card and right into that crease, and then I'm going to pop the card down. And then what we should have is a little mechanism that's going to open when the card does. Okay, so there we got that. Okay, so what I had thought is that what I wanted to do was to pop this one on there. As you can see, it covers the whole thing, so that's why I'm not decorating it. I did toy with the idea of this one. Let me just pop this frame out and show you what I was thinking, but I don't think it will work as well. So I was thinking about popping this onto there, and then if I swap that out, popping that onto there. So you have got that option, but I think that looks a little bit further away. I think you would have to do it slightly closer, which you would do by increasing these side pieces. Maybe to 2 inches. So, but I think this one, oops, is going to work quite nice on there. And then if I bring the topper set out, see, I kind of think that's quite nice. But what I thought was if I come with sort of using a topper. Come with one of these tags, pop that in, or, which is what I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to pop that on there with a little bow. You've also got this one, which is along the same sort of theme, peace and goodwill, with the candles. You could always come in there. I think that gets a bit lost, to be honest. But I want to spread these sentiments out as much as I can, just so I can make as much cards out of them as I can, as many cards as I can. So that is going to be my plan. So this is going to go straight onto there. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to put some all-purpose glue onto the actual mechanism itself. I'm going to leave that for a second just to get tacky-ish. Just going to trim any little poppy up bits off, and then what I can do, and you could use your foam pads if you wanted to, but what I would say is just give it time to dry before you start trying to move it. So I'm going to leave that in there like so while I fiddle about with this bit. So I'm just going to trim these little bits off. And I'm going to want a piece of that black ribbon again, so let's just grab another piece of that. That's probably again a little too much, but we'll bring in the bow maker, and what I might do is actually do a double bow. So what I've done is I've gone around it twice, and then this one again is the one that's underneath, so I'm going round You can do a double, triple, single. I think this is the first time I've ever done a double on video. So just going to pull that nice and tight, and then what you can do is just spread those little wings out a little bit, so you've just got a little bit of a fatter bow. And there again, if you wanted to triple, it would be even bigger. Okay, let's pop that out of the way. That is going to go onto there, and I am going to be using some 1mm foam. These are the Sticks 2 ones. And while I'm still just giving that an extra moment, what I'm also going to do is bought some new gems that, well, these were delivered today, new gems from Hunkydory. I got 2 different sets. One is the pearls and one is the shimmer diamonds, green shimmer ones. So they were a pack of 4 for, I think they were $5.99 as a sort of diamond price. So let me just, I'm sorry, this packaging always really crackles on the video. So these are the sepia tones, and I think these are going to go quite nicely. Keep that to the side because I'm not put those back in. And I think I'm going to come with one. Not going too much on this, just want to keep it nice and simple. That's that one, and I'm going to go on there, and then I'm going to take another big one, if it'll come, and I'm going to pop that down in that corner. So that's going to be my 5. Right, let's see how that's doing. Yeah, that seems to be quite nicely. And the other thing just to be aware of, you can do this little mechanism in different sizes. Originally I did it at 2 inches. Let me show you the practice one I was doing. And what I found was that was poking out, the mechanism was poking out. Now obviously my sentiment is poking out anyway, so it wouldn't make that much of a big deal. But just be aware of that if you are looking for maybe a smaller sentiment or something to go on there. Just be aware of that sort of size going across. Okay, so now we can come in with our little tag. And I'm going to put some tacky glue on, of course, just to give me that bit of wiggle room time. Now, where do I want this to go? I think I'm going to come across at an angle. Now, I haven't popped the hole out because I am going to be putting my beautiful little bow on. So I'm going to pop its little legs down. Pop it on where I want it to go. And then I've got some of these reverse tweezers. And I'm just going to keep that on there for around about 10 minutes. Now if you wanted to, you could go ahead and use some more of this cardstock if you didn't like the faded out look. I just really wanted to keep it so that it could be written on, and it's just another way of using up the inserts as well. Obviously you could always put a panel on the back if you wanted to, but I think, you know, if you embossed that, you know, if you had some little die cuts going up there, maybe one of the I know the diamond deals, there was the border with I think there was Christmas greetings on it. It might have only been the everyday, but I know they have done Christmas ones. You might want to put that along there. So loads of different ideas on how to decorate that if you don't like the plainness of the insert. But that for me is the finished card, so I'm going to pop that to the side, and then by the time we finish the next card we should be able to come back and that one will be all sorted. So let's pop that to the side, and I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for card number 2 I've decided to go with just a straightforward 10th fold card. So I've already scored the 6x6 card that I need, but I'm going to try and make this card a little bit more sexy by adding some foil and glitter. Okay, so let's bring in the trimmer. Now what I did find, again when I've been going through bits and pieces, this is Mum's, some red foil. I know Hunkydory have their own. This was just some red foil that looks like it's come from a pound shop, so it's not very expensive. You can see it's been badly stored because it has got a dent in it, but that's not going to stop me using it. So I'm going to do my outside border at 2 notches under the 6. I'm going to take a little bit off this edge because it is a bit dented on that end. So let's just get rid of that. And then 2 notches under the 6 on there. And that is going to be our border there. Sorry if it's glaring at you a little bit. And then my next layer, I'm going to be using this black cardstock on this side. So I'm not using the image. Not yet anyway. So I'm going to cut this at 5 3/4, and I'm going to turn that around and cut that at 5 3/4 again, and you can see we're bringing the drama. Now at this point, if I was not making cards like on the video, I would emboss that either with a Spellbinders folder, Hunkydory, Crafter's Companion. I've got loads of Christmas folders, your Christmas stencils, anything like that. Just something to put a little bit of pattern on that. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is, because I'm going to use this, I want to use this foiling on this card. I'm not sure if I want to keep the poinsettia bit on there as well. Let's see how that would look. I think it's going to take away a little bit too much, so I'm going to cut that off. And what I might do when I make another card of this, I might use this piece to decoupage that up. So we've got this border, and I'm going to bring in, did I bring it out already? No, I've just got it ready here at the side. More crackling, sorry. I've got some Diamond Sparkles black glitter. I've got 2 pieces there, so I don't want to cut into 2 pieces. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it over just because it's bowing that way, it's just going to be easier. And then what I'm going to do is just give myself a little bit of border, maybe just a little bit more. I'll tell you what I've measured out in a second. So that is going to be an odd measurement, but it's going to be approximately 1 2 notches. And then again, I'm going to cut that at 5 3/4. And that is just going to bring that little bit of sparkle. And it's not in your face sparkle with that diamond glitter black. It's just enough. Actually, it's not really standing out against that, so we will do, we'll go even extra, and we'll pop a bit of red underneath that there. So that was 1 2 notches we said, didn't we? Yep. So I just need that to be 1 1/4. It should already be to size. No, we're a little bit bigger, so I need to just take 2 notches off that. Just 5 3/4. So now we're going to have that red, that black, that red, that black. Okay, so that's going to go onto there. Like I say, that piece will save for another day. And just get that out of there as well. Otherwise I'll wonder why my blade isn't cutting. Okay, so like I say, you can always emboss that and it would look better embossed, I'll be honest with you. But let's go ahead and assemble. Just a little bit of tacky in the corners. That's quite a lovely red, this, real proper red. Not a Christmas red though, just a bright red. Sure, that's where I want it to be. Then we can go in with this one. Middle. Again, a bit tacky in those corners. And I think I'm going to have that pattern along the bottom still. Just that good press down, make sure that glue makes good connection. And while that's sitting there, we can just come in with this and just layer these up. I'm not going with any height on them, I just want them to be a little bit of break from that pure black. So just adding a bit of drama to our Christmas card. And this border was just too nice not to use. And this border, you could always, if you didn't want to use it on this card, if you wanted to keep that sort of plainer, this would look nice on any card. It wouldn't necessarily have to be Christmas, this border. I think it could be, you know, equally a birthday, a thank you, those sort of things. Just moving that along. Okay, so that is going to go on to our piece there. So that's straight. Obviously I've not glued that yet. And then for the topper, what have I done with that? I was thinking about going with the cracker. Oops, I've buried it. Let me just move those over. There. Okay, so this was the thinking that I had with playing with that. I may change my mind and go with that square one. But let's have a little play with this first of all. So obviously we've got all of these little tabs on there. They need to be trimmed off. So we could keep that at the top to balance that. Go in like so. The only sentiment you can use with this one, in my opinion, is this one. Just grab it. Have a cracking Christmas, because that is just too perfect for that. So obviously there would be dimension. The other thing we could do, I mean, we could always keep that as it is. You'd have to trim off any overhangs, but we could come in at an angle. Maybe have that down there. It looks a little busy. We could cover that up. Come along the bottom. Let's see what it would look like with the other top out. So it's already popped out, so we could go across the centre. That up. I like that. And we could have the Joyo, I'm not sure how you say that, Joyous, maybe coming down like so. Obviously these would be higher than that. And then maybe some red gems. Don't think we've got any red shiny ones. That's a shame. I really wanted to use that cracker. We will have to devise another card for that one. So I'm just worried that that's a bit busy in the background for that. What about if we popped a little bit? So I still want that drama. What about if we popped a bit of vellum behind it? Obviously you wouldn't see this bit. No, I don't like that. I think the acetate would be just the same. We could try a little bit. It's difficult to see when you've got all the bits. Yeah. Okay, we'll keep it as it is. See, the other option is to chop 2 bits so that there's nothing in the middle. Let's see what that looks like if there's nothing in the middle. So you just have a little piece underneath there. Like that. Sorry, I'm doing all my planning on camera. At least you see how my brain works when it's working. And I actually like that better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my little guillotine, because that's better for cutting multiple pieces of cardstock straighter, in my opinion. So if I pop that in the middle, we'll probably want about 1 inch, I would say. Let's try 1 inch. So we know this is 5 3/4. So if I go to 4 3, oh, that's on the move. That's not great. So this is what I mean about quite a long glue time. Okay, so 4 3/4. Put that down. Just check that's going to be big enough, and I can hide it behind. And it is. So the next one is going to be 4 3/4. Oh no, it's not, because that's smaller than 4 3 3/4. Oh, now I've lost track of where I am. I told you my brain's not working today. So at the moment it is at 4 1/4. So we need to go now. So 3 1/4 because I cut it wrong that time. And then we've got our piece to go there. So I've still got a piece there that I might be able to slip behind another frame in this same way on another card. So worth keeping hold of. Apologies about my brain being a little bit skewy today with the measurements. To be fair, we got through the first card quite well, didn't we? So apart from that, forgetting to fold. Sometimes I find if I focus my brain on one thing, then it doesn't unfocus for the rest of my crafting. Sometimes I have to go and have a little break and maybe even like come back to it on that same day. Although to be fair, normally if I'm on my own, although saying that the same would happen, I would still cut it wrong. But I would have to, I tend to do better when I'm not trying to film it. Okay, let's bring in my little T-square ruler. We're going to try and get these quite even. So if I pop my card on here, we know it's 6 inches. So my T-square, I want that to be, so we know this is just over 1 inch, isn't it? So let's go to 2 inches. We can just go a little higher. We will go around about there. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm going to try using my PVA glue because it does have a quicker tacky time. I don't want this to be moving around when I'm trying to put the frame on straight. Hopefully they should be around about right. Now we're going to know when we put this on. Ah, perfect. Okay, so what I can do while those are drying, I can go ahead and pop these on. They are going to be too big, so I'm going to get 2 for 1 on here because I'm going to cut them in half. And these are 1mm ones. What I'm going to try and do is avoid that middle part. There isn't a right or a wrong way, is there? There is. So that's going to be the top part, so I need to pop it all along there. And I'm putting quite a good spread on because I want a nice amount of support. And if you've got the Hunkydory strips, obviously they would be a lot easier than these, but I am trying to be a bit more it's quite expensive for me to buy the strips with the amount of cards that I'm making at the moment, so just trying to find slightly cheaper options for me. So again, I'm going to have to cut. But what I will do is use Hunkydory or Crafter's Companion 2mm. Oops. Decided to come off at the same time, so hopefully we should be okay with those. Let's have a little look. A little bit there. So I'll pop that one off. It's coming off quite easy. Let's pop it on there. I might be able to reuse it again. Try that one more time. That is a little better. And then I've got these Hunkydory ones. These are a little higher. So, and these are square. I think these are 2mm. I can always double them up if I think it needs to be a little higher. Have a look, see how that. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. Okay. So let's take all the backs off. Sorry, this is probably the most boring part of the video. And I did get, like I say, those pearls. I got those today, and I bought the stained glass Christmas kit, the big one with the book and the inserts, because I really like the religious ones. I think that's probably what I'm going to be doing for my sister's Christmas cards this year, because both of my other sisters are quite religious Roman Catholics. I sort of am a Roman Catholic, but I don't practice. I do like to go to church sometimes, but not as part of a mass. But I don't know whether that's just my sort of, got a bit of a love of architecture as well. I suppose it's all kind of art in a way, isn't it, architecture? Alright, let's bring that down just a little bit, I think. Right about there. You can see that's supported quite well there at 1mm. And then this one here, again, more riveting TV, pulling backs off. Foam pads, tacky glue just to give me that bit of wiggle room time, like you've seen me pick things up before in the past when I haven't been quite happy with the placement. And we'll pop that one in the middle. And then this one here, just give that a little bit of a, this is just a normal nail file. Just take the edge off those pips. And what I want to do is just put some these 2mm pads on the bottom and the side, because it's going to be supported everywhere else. Like I say, if this was embossed, I think it would really add a bit more drama as well. But I am liking the red mirrors, not very often I do that. Okay, so I think about there is good. And then what we need is going to be some red gems, or red mirror gems. Let's see, what have I got in the new ones? Where did I put the new ones? Ah, there they are. Got some green ones, pink, nothing red. Okay, so let's go into the drawer. Oh, straight away I've got those, which are quite red. Would have loved the pearl though. Those are a bit too pink. Let me just have a little look through. Sorry, rustling. More rustling. I have got black pearls, but I don't think they're going to stand out as much. What have I got? Some gold ones. I want gold. Although we could use gold because of the foiling. I'm going to have to make a decision. We've got those ones as well. I think I like those ones. I prefer something a bit glitter, seeing as we've got that little bit of glitter on there as well. So I am going to have to go with these. These are from a Crafter's Companion subscription kit. I've probably still not used the kit, but I tend to use all of the consumables anyway. I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3, and there, and we use one of these really big ones there, and then one of the medium ones. These are quite small actually. There, and I think I'm going to leave it at that. We'll just go with those 5. So that is the second card. Like I say, I really would have preferred to emboss it, but I don't like to do that in the videos. I try and keep the kits as plain as I can, so that you've only got to buy the kits and a bit of cardstock and glue, and you can go ahead and copy these. So that just needs an insert inside it. But the red foil card, I know that's extra in the glitter card, but you can get that from Hunkydory. So let me bring in that first card. Hopefully that bow has glued now, and it has. And you can see that's opening nice and reliably for us. Checking, and it will go into, it is quite chunky, so I think if you've got an envelope that's a little bit oversized, it will go in fine. If not, you can always get hold of some of the Hunkydory boxelopes. Oops, bit of silver foil there. Boxelopes, and that would fit in there perfectly, and you've got about ½ an inch to play with in there. But that's it for today, so thank you so much for watching. Like I say, apologies again that my brain wasn't quite in place with some of the measurements, but hopefully you've got the gist of what I'm doing. Any questions, as always, just give us a little message and I'll sort that out for you. But until next time, take care of yourselves. Happy crafting. Bye.